Hello and welcome back to the third rail. I mentioned in my last video that the passenger section of my collection of Märklin models produced in the 1980s is now complete. But I need to requalify this because there are two items I would still need, strictly speaking. They are coaches with digital functions, the 4999, a TEE Panorama coach with a moving waiter, and the 4998, a disco or party coach with animated dancing couples, sound and light effects, and a choice of a few tunes. Released in 1988 and 1989 respectively, they were quite innovative and a good display of the capabilities of a digital system. If I am not mistaken, they are probably the earliest example of digital function models. They should be because the DCC standard was only finalized in the early 1990s. If they are not, at the very least, they were among the first to market with such things. I have foolishly passed on a few opportunities to buy them a few years back, and the import duties these items would generate today are enough to put them firmly out of my reach now. This said, if you happen to have one you'd like to sell, feel free to reach out. If the price is right, who knows, we might be able to come to an agreement, especially if you are UK based or know of a tax-efficient way to get the items to me. One day maybe, but for now I shall consider the passenger side of the collection done and concentrate on completing the freight section, where I am down to the last 10 or so missing items now. I'd welcome offers for the model displayed here too. Back to the coaches, which Märklin had both released previously as standard models, and these I have in the collection. This one arrived in the last few weeks. It is a 4169, a TEE Panorama coach of the Swiss travel agency Reisebüro Mittelthurgau. The coach will be familiar to most of you as prototypically it is a Domecar built by the Deutsche Bundesbahn in 1962-63 for its Rheingold and Rheinpfeil services. In 1966, they were integrated in the Trans-Europe Express network and received the legendary TEE livery at the time. The Dome cars were withdrawn in 1973, following the integration of the TEE product into the new Intercity network of the Deutsche Bundesbahn. I think the main reason for the withdrawal was that these cars could not be used everywhere because their loading gauge was too high. They were stored until 1976, when they were sold to a travel agency, the Internationale Apfelpfeil Organisation, in short IAO. The coaches were refurbished and lowered to allow their use virtually anywhere in Europe. Apfelpfeil unfortunately declared bankruptcy in 1979, and the coaches were then acquired by the Reisebüro Mittelthurgau. More modifications were made, the livery of course, but also some technical modifications to raise their speed limit to 200 km per hour. The coaches were then used on tours all over Europe until 1999. These cars were then sold on. I'll stop here as far as the history is concerned, but the coaches are still around today. If you look at the description down below, you'll find a link to a Wikipedia article, as well as credits for the photos used in this video. I had seen this picture a few years back, which I liked the look of. So much so that I have bought items for the collection with it in mind, as you can see on the track now. So we'll unbox the latest arrival in the series. Oh, someone fitted passengers in the dome section, that's good. And it looks like we even have some interior lighting. Excellent! So I shall add this coach to the train, and I'm going to put a blue-beige coach with tail lights behind it. That's it. So, we're going to send the train on its way. We'll start on the ground loop just to make sure that we haven't got any coupling gremlins. So the locomotive is an AE66, it's model number 3332. The panorama cars are 4169s, as we've seen earlier. I have used an Intercity restaurant car in the center. That wouldn't be correct, but close enough for our purpose. That's model number 4153. And we have a second class coach with tail lights at the end. It's model number 4154. So we've had no problems on the turnouts. Everything is still on the track, that's good. So I need to apply a final touch. I'll raise the pantograph. Which one needs raising? Let's look at the picture quickly. Yeah, the back pantograph needs raising. Cool, let's see if we are getting stuck anywhere. No, everything looks good, but it needs adjusting. It's a bit out of shape. I shall do this now. One moment, please. There we go. After a bit of bending and tightening, I think things look a bit better now. Okay, let's enjoy the train for a bit. Effortless. My automatic level crossing is a bit sick today by the looks of it. Looks like I need a new gate. I'll look into this later. Well, isn't the train a beautiful sight? This locomotive really wants more coaches. Let's try that. The panorama cars were not always used together like that. They were often added to regular services. I have attempted a recreation from memory. I saw something that looked like that, but I cannot remember where. We have a few Italian coaches, then green Swiss coaches, and a panorama coach inserted at the end. If I remember well, there were 1 or 2 luggage vans too in that consist, but Märklin didn't make any of these in the 1980s. It is not a prototypically correct composition anyway, but this should be enough to get a feel based on the color combination. And at the front we have another AE66, this time it is the legendary 3050. Let's see how it gets on with this heavier consist. We're off. Let's follow this one on its own for a bit. Well, this doesn't look too bad. The locomotive is not struggling at all either. It is the same tooling as the 3332, by the way. Okay, let's try and activate the block system now and see what happens. We should be okay with 2 trains only. Well, that didn't go badly. These AE66s are really good models, at least technically. Not bad for a tooling from the 1960s. Okay, we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this Swiss excursion. Hopefully enough to give the video a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe if you haven't already done so. Many thanks for this in advance, and bye for now.